Hey guys, I'm Kevin Washington. Thanks for tapping in. I just want to take you on a journey of my road to 100,000 and how you can hit that goal, whether it be 50,000, 30,000, 70,000, 10,000. But this video is going to have a little bit of something for everybody because I didn't come from wealth, money, or any of that. So I've done quite a few things in my life, whether it be a car salesman, a realtor, buying my first dream car, having 27,000 plus in the account to having negative $500 in the account. But one thing that I have never done, that I haven't completely gotten done yet, is having six figures in my account. So the big question is, why six figures? Why do you feel as if you need to have six figures in your account? Why do you want to have six figures? What will it do for you? And those are fair enough questions to ask for anybody going on this journey, because this is something that I don't think is going to be easy. I don't plan on it being easy, but there are steps that you can take to make it a bit easier. And those are the steps that I'm going to be laying down, what I've done, what I'm doing right now to get ahead, to get closer to this $100,000. And that's going to lead into the first point. First point is finding out what you make. Like, how much do you make a year? Like, it's going to be, how can you save for a number if you don't know how much you're making a year, if you don't know how much you're bringing in each month? And that was one of the first things I had to do. I had to step back, look at my finances, figure out how much I'm bringing in each month, how much I'm bringing in annually after taxes. So I can adjust each month accordingly, each week accordingly, to align with what my ultimate goal is, which is $100,000. And do I have a time frame? I do have a time frame. Each time frame is going to be different per person, per income that they make. So this channel, I'm going to be very open about my finances in this, so you have a very clear understanding of what I'm working with, so you can see how close you are to what I'm making, or how far you are from what I'm making, to see so you can adjust accordingly. So I make roughly $85,000 a year, which that pertains to roughly about $5,400 per month, and that's net of about $64,735. So with that being said, $5,400 a month, let's take it from there. So now my next thing is to figure out how much money is that going to my non-negotiables. My non-negotiables, or absolutes, some may call them, are things that have to get taken care of. My rent, my car, my insurance, my phone, gas and food. Those are things that are non-negotiables. Those are things that I'm going to be putting money out into each month, no matter what. So after you have that taken away from your income, your weekly, bi-weekly, monthly income, then you're left with that number. And whatever that number is, that's the number you can work with, to where you can say, okay, what is it that I feel comfortable with setting aside each month, and also where I can have some money to play with as well, so I'm not completely stuck to just being at home and I can't have any fun or doing anything. So you have to really find out those numbers, and once you get that number, then you can really play around with it, see how fast you want to get to this 100,000. Because if you want to get to this 100,000 within 3 years, you're gonna have to save aggressively. Now, some may have a 5, 6, or 7 year plan. If you're not so adamant, if you're younger, you can have a little bit more leeway. But if you're a little bit older, myself, I'm 36. I plan to have. I want to be a millionaire by 45. So getting this 100,000 is imperative to me. It's paramount to me. So my goal is 3 years. By 2028, January 1, 2028, my goal is to have $100,000 in my account. So that is my time frame. So what does that look like for someone like me? Let's dive in. So basically that looks like this. If I'm bringing home $5,400 a month, I need to be able to save $2,700 a month of that, which will hit my goal of $100,000 in 3 years. It is going to be slightly less, and with doing that $2,700 a month, it's going to end each year at $32,400. So at the end of 3 years, I'm going to have $97,200, and that's going to lead into point number 2 on my road to $100,000. High yield savings accounts and investments. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into investing or into the high yield savings accounts, because those are different topics for a whole nother videos. But right now, in your bank, if you are having your money sitting in your checking account or having it sit in a savings account, more than likely you're probably getting a 0.5%, 0.2, 0.1% APY back on your money. What does that mean? So say if you have $10,000 in your savings account, a 0.5 or 0.1% out of that $10,000, you're going to get back $1. So what I recommend everyone doing is opening up a high yield savings account. I have one with Affirm. I also have one with American Express. American Express offers 3.8%, and then my Affirm offers 3.85%. So that same $10,000, I'd be looking to get it back around like $400 each year just for having my money saved into one of those high yield savings accounts. And that's 4%. So say if I have it invested into stocks, if I'm invested, which I'm invested into the S&P 500, which is basically, it is the top 500 largest companies in the country. It's actually, I think it's up to 508 now, or 500. So basically the top 508 companies you're invested into, and the national return, the average return over the last 20 to 30 years is about 8%. So if you have your money invested into the investment in VOO stocks, or I'm invested in, like I said, S&P 500 VOO, I'm with Vanguard, then at the end of each year, I have my 32,400 in there. Then I get a return of 8%. You know, that's increasing my revenue. That 32,400 is increased by 8% now. I don't have the numbers directly off the top of my head, but you get the gist of it. So you want to have your money not just sitting there, because if your money is just sitting there, it's losing value. With interest and inflation, your money is losing value. So you want to have it into a high yield savings account or have that money invested, so it's not just sitting there, it's working for you. And that is what I highly recommend doing, especially if you're on this road. This journey is going to make it a lot easier. It's going to, yes, it may be a little bit more volatile if you're going into the stocks way. And if you're somebody that do not want to play with stocks, you know, you're a conservative person, then just put your money into a high yield savings account. So I know SoFi is really good. Ally, like I said, I have Affirm. Then you have American Express. I mean, there's so many different types of high yield savings accounts that you can open up. And a lot of them, you don't even have to have a minimum deposit. There's no minimum requirements to have in there. You just put your money in there and you just let it grow. And this is going into point number 3. Do you have an emergency fund? You know, it's all good to save and want to go for this 100,000, but say something happens, you know, an emergency happens. You don't want to have to go into your money that you've already put all this hard work into. You know, you're getting close. You know, you're at 40, 50, you know, 90,000. You don't want to have to go into that for your car breaks down, or you got a repair to do at your house. These are things you don't want to have to come out of the money that you worked hard for. You want to actually go into that emergency fund where you built some interest on it. Well, maybe your interest would be able to take care of what the cost of whatever problem that occurred in your life. Okay, so with that being said, these are my first 3 actionable steps that you can take right now if you're someone that wants to get on their road to financial freedom. Now, 100,000, I'm not saying it's going to be financial freedom, but it's going to be a lot more free than you're currently living right now. And my last point before I end this video, I glossed over this, but you got to become debt free. You got to become debt free. You got to get out of all your debts. If you have debt, that has to be taken care of first. First and foremost, your debt has to be taken care of. You cannot save if you are being garnished from your credit cards, student loans, auto loans, mortgage loans, whatever you have. Become debt free. You have to become debt free, guys. Becoming debt free, and I promise you that this journey is going to be 10 times easier. It's going to be brighter. It's going to be lighter. You're going to feel relieved paying off your debts, because I just paid off my debts. I just paid off my debts last week. I feel stupendous. I feel great. I feel a sigh of relief. I feel so much joy in my heart. So guys, I thank you for checking in, taking your time out of your day to embark on this financial journey with me, this road to 100,000. If you found some information to be useful and knowledgeable to you in this, please give a like on this video, subscribe. It would mean so much to me, because this is something new, stepping out of my element. And I just want to be someone positive that you can get some information from. You know, life is good, God is great, And everyone should always remember God first. We are nothing without God. None of this is possible without God. And if you need to figure out a way how you can turn to Christ, I'm your man. I got you. But until next time, guys, peace and love.